Are you ready for an ice cream that won't break the calorie bank? Stay tuned. We're making one right now. Hey guys, Spencer with Trash Panda Keto Kitchen. Today we're going to make one of my all-time favorites, chocolate chip mint ice cream. Now, you wouldn't think that ice cream would be something that you could have on a keto diet. You're wrong. It's actually fairly simple. We make it quite a bit because it really only takes a few key ingredients to make it. You throw it in the fridge for a few hours, and next thing you know, you got great, delicious, creamy ice cream that everybody's going to enjoy. So, to make it, it's real simple. We are going to start off with a cup of heavy whipping cream. Now, once you get this heavy whipping cream in there, we are going to go ahead and put in, from there, 3 tablespoons of allulose. Allulose is a cane sugar now. It's something that's fairly new on the keto market that you're starting to see a lot more of. The thing with allulose, and we're going to kind of stop here for a second because I kind of want to explain the difference. You have 2 different kinds of sugars that most people use on keto. You generally have your swerves, which is a erythritol-based sugar. Now, this sugar is a 1-for-1. If you measure out a cup of sugar, you got to measure out a cup of swerve, and that's kind of the way it is. But it is made with erythritol, so erythritol has a different kind of an aftertaste. The new kid on the block is allulose. Allulose is a cane-based sugar, non-GMO, and I'll tell you, it's about 70% as sweet as regular sugar, and so 1 cup of this is equal to about 1 1/3 cups of regular sugar, so you got to understand that. But I'll tell you, this stuff right here, I've kind of started to I've started getting away from the swerve, and I've really started to go with allulose quite a bit. No aftertaste whatsoever. You can't tell the difference between regular sugar. You might need to add a little bit more in, but that's about it. So we put our 3 tablespoons of allulose sugar in there, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more at the end of the video. And next, we're going to put 1/4 teaspoon of peppermint extract. Now, understand, you do not need much more than a 1/4 teaspoon. If you put in too much, trust me, I put in too much the first time I made this, and it just really was too minty after that. So you only want to put in 3, okay? If you're like me, you always kind of put a little bit more than what the recipe says. It really means a 1/4 teaspoon, okay? Don't overdo it. From there, you're going to take your green food coloring, and all you want to put in there is 3 drops. Let's do 4. Just broke my rule, didn't I? All right, so we're going to put that in, and then you're going to want to take 1 cup of diced Lily's chocolates. Okay, so now Lily's, this is the other ingredient that you're going to see quite a bit in baking on ketos. Lily's is a sugar-free, keto-friendly chocolate chip that about almost any recipe you see that's a dessert on keto is going to contain. It's one of their favorites. It's either this or it's cacao chocolate, but for the most part you're going to see this. I can tell you that this stuff here, it's even good if you just eat it by the handfuls. I don't know that I necessarily recommend it, but only 4 grams of fat in a serving. It's really pretty good. So just take you a knife, cut it up, chop them up a little bit, and just pour it on in. Now here is the magical part in all this. I've just put it into a mason jar. You are going to put the lid on the mason jar, shake it up for 5 minutes, okay? Now as you shake this thing up, I'm not going to sit here and roll video for 5 minutes so that you can watch me shake watch me shake the ice cream. Trust me when I say we're going to shake it for 5 minutes. We'll be right back. Okay, so we're done shaking our mixture. Now, as you can tell, this mixture has almost doubled in size. Now, this is actually good to put in the refrigerator right now, okay? So, and I said refrigerator, I meant the freezer. It is okay to go ahead and put it in the freezer now, and you're going to want to leave it in there for about 5 hours to let this stuff fully set. Now, what I do is I do something just a little bit different. You can go to most grocery stores and you can find these 2.6 cup trays, glass bowls if you will. And what I tend to do is I like to take it out of the mason jar and pour it into this dish. Each serving is about 1 scoop, and that 1 scoop is much easier to get out of here because I can tell you, if I sit down with a jar of mason jar ice cream, the chances of me going to town on this thing is much greater than if I were to take just a scoop of ice cream and throw it into a bowl. Maybe throw a couple extra chocolate chips on it. and then away we go. And keep in mind, you can't shake this stuff too much. I like to go back in the freezer occasionally, maybe after the second hour or so, and really kind of give it one more good shake, because as it starts to freeze, a lot of the chocolate chips are going to start to kind of go to the bottom. If you do choose to go into the pan, what I would tell you is after about the 2-hour mark, just take a spoon and just fluff it around a little bit. Should be good at about the 2.5 hour mark, about halfway, and you should be there. So that is keto ice cream. It is not hard. This is one of the simplest things you can make, and I'll tell you, if you end up going with a teaspoon of the vanilla extract, you can make vanilla ice cream, get rid of the peppermint extract, and you got vanilla ice cream. It's really simple. Nobody's going to know the difference if you use the allulose. If you use the allulose, nobody's going to know that this is a keto ice cream. I can promise you that. So, stick around. We're getting ready to have a little bit of real talk. All right, guys, welcome back. So, for the real talk, remember the tag of this channel is Real Keto, Real People, Real Talk. And this is the part where we kind of really talk about the realistic portion of keto and what we're doing here. We've discussed in previous videos that a lot of the things we do now is really changing our mindset on how we view food. This ice cream is really no different, okay? As you start to get into the keto diet and you start to find out what your replacement foods are, you're going to start looking for those comfort foods that you used to know. One of them for me is ice cream. It's the reason I like this one so much. We did a comparison in the previous video and talked about what were some of the caloric differences between what the standard American diet food was and what something like this keto ice cream was. And so for this one, 282 calories, 30 fat, 3 carbs, and 1.5 grams of protein. That's going to be your keto ice cream, okay? And so those are all really reasonable, and they fit into the macros for a keto diet extremely well. When you're looking at 30 grams of fat, you're really starting to talk about something that's very similar to a fat bomb. So at the end of the day, if you found yourself a little bit lacking on your fats, a scoop of this, and I'm talking a good scoop, a good scoop of this is going to get you 30 grams of fat. It's going to really kind of knock down the sweet tooth that you got or that you might have going, and it's absolutely fantastic. By comparison, I started thinking about ice cream and mint chocolate chip ice cream specifically, and I went and I looked at Baskin Robbins. I think we all know who Baskin Robbins is. I think I'm pretty positive it's a national chain. So instead of 282 calories, it's 250. So Baskin Robbins has got us beat by about 30 calories. Fat, 30 grams of fat in keto, 16 to the Baskin Robbins. However, with a huge comma, 10 of those grams are saturated fats, something we do not want. Carbs, you're going from 3 carbs to 23 carbs in one serving of mint chocolate chip Baskin Robbins ice cream. And then for protein, you go from 1.5 to 5 grams. Here is the key, the biggest difference in all of this. Sugar on keto ice cream is 0. For Baskin Robbins, it's 18 grams of sugar. I'm talking about a way to really stunt your insulin resistance and to kind of really put a bind on losing weight. It's Baskin Robbins ice cream, 18 grams of sugar. So I'm going to kind of put that into perspective. So we only said it was 250 calories, and that's where kind of a lot of people I think get kind of mixed up on diets, is that we look at it and we say it's only 250 calories. But for that Baskin Robbins ice cream, I went on a nutrition website and I looked up some of the macros on it, and for that particular ice cream, for that one scoop of ice cream, you would have to do a 70-minute walk or a 29-minute jog in order to burn those 25 or that 250 calories for that one scoop of ice cream. That's what you got to do. I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I would rather eat this than have to go out and walk for an hour and 10 minutes. It's just not worth it. And I can tell you, as you start to eat this and you start to keep your macros into place, you're really going to get to a point to where your sweet tooth is going to start to diminish a little bit. And I know it doesn't seem like it at the beginning. It seems like everything you want to eat is going to be sugar. But I'll tell you, with the allulose, really look into it. You can get it on Amazon. I was able to get this at the local grocery store. You'll see it in a few different kinds of packagings. But it really is just allulose sweetener. That's all it is, okay? If you choose to go with the Swerve, you're going to get an aftertaste. Now, as you research YouTube videos for keto diets, you are going to see this stuff all over the place. It's called Swerve, okay? And I'll tell you, you're going to see it everywhere. And we've got, I think, probably 4 bags of this stuff, and it's kind of expensive, but you're going to see this stuff. We've got 4 bags in the pantry. Since I found allulose, I haven't touched it. And I'll tell you, so erythritol is going to have it's almost like a cooling effect, as if you were to eat like a menthol candy or something with menthol in it. You're going to have this little bit of a cooling taste after you've eaten something with erythritol. And you'll see it a lot in baked goods, you'll see it a lot in candy bars, you'll see it a lot in different keto candies that people will use Swerve. Do yourself a favor, go with the allulose. For this recipe specifically, when you use the allulose, the ice cream will not harden like a brick. If you use the Swerve, it's going to harden like a brick. And you're going to have to put it in the microwave for just a few seconds to kind of loosen it up and kind of, you know, just like you would any kind of hard ice cream that's been in the freezer too long. That's what it's kind of like. With allulose, it will not freeze 100%. It will still give it something that you can easily take an ice cream scoop to and scoop it out. I'll tell you what, I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please subscribe, like, feel free to share with your friends. We are all on this keto journey together. Again, I started at 240 pounds. This morning I was at 198. I'm not exercising. I've not gone out to run. I'm not putting on my rucksack and going out and beating the weights. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm eating responsible. I'm eating healthy, and I'm starting to see the benefits. You can do it too. I can tell you, if I can do it, you can do it too. But it's going to require you to take a little bit of a mentality change on how you view food. Once you start finding these things, the journey becomes much easier. I hope you stick with us with the journey. Again, if you have any recipes that you want to see me try to cook, again, let me know. If it's a chicken dinner, if it's a maybe fried chicken or something like that on how we do it on the keto diet, let me know. Leave a comment below. And as we can start getting some of these comments, I'll start whipping up some of these dishes, okay? But right now, let's stay with some of the basics, and let's keep it kind of simple, and let's get our way into this keto diet, and let's start this journey together, okay? I appreciate everything. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time.